So we're now on to page 6 and 7, which are the last ones because we've already done 8. So these are the last of the pages. And again, I'm using my photo slots. And this time I'm going to use my Walrus Whisker Dies as well to make a decorative pocket. So how I made this was, I took my 8x8 cardstock and I cut it at 7 3/8 again, because that's what mats onto my page. And I cut the bottom at 2 1/4. Let's check. Yeah, 2 1/4. Now the depth of your pocket is up to you. So if you want a shallower pocket, you can. If you want a deeper one, go for it and use some of the smaller dies. You could have the squares and have a much deeper pocket. So then what I've done, I've taken a piece of black card and I've cut it at 7.5 wide and 2.5, but that's just an approximation because you just want a little bit of extra on the top. Okay, so I'm just gonna do that. I'm just gonna ink some edges, which I spotted I haven't done on this one. So I'm just gonna do the 3 sides first. And because it's directional paper, I know this bottom one is going to be covered by my pocket, so I'm not going to worry too much about that one either. Okay. So these Cool Katz dies, these whisker ones, have got a notch for the center. So I want to use 2 matching ones, as in next to each other in the pack, because you get a lot of them. And we're going to use the largest one on our paper. So the smaller one, I'm just going to put to the side for now, out of the way so I don't mix it up. Now when you're choosing them, what you want to make sure is, when you have your papers like this, that the dip doesn't go further than your paper. If that makes sense. There are bigger ones, but then the scoop would then expose the black because I've only got 8 inches of paper. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to fold my paper in half and I'm just going to pinch right there, and just going to got my pen here. Let's have a look. It's there. So I've just marked it. I'm going to take my die, and there's a notch on each side where the cutting blade is. So that notch will go in line with my paper, and I'm going to do my best to line up that line with that central notch. Alternatively, what you can do is take that blade, because we're only interested in this bit, and just bring it down till it touches. So you can feel it lock into place there, and then just slide it left and right. That's sort of the cheat way which I'd use. And I'm just going to tape it down well, because we don't want it to kick. Through my machine, so you can see where my blade just met the paper there. So that's a scrap piece. So this is why I hadn't inked it up before, because we need to go through that little gap. Okay. So now I'm just going to take those bits of tape I've been using all along, and I'm going to align it onto my black card. Just make sure it's lined up there. And fold it over. And I'm going to take this smaller one, which is going to sit just inside there. Stick it down. Oh, it's moved. There we are. So keeping hold of that, I'm just going to take my paper away. And I'm going to cut this square, this rectangle. Okay, so when I take it off this time, it's not going to come off because it was longer than, sorry, it was deeper than the cut. So what I'm going to do now is just take a pencil, and you could just take your trimmer. I'm just going to draw a line where those ties have been. So I'm just continuing in that straight line. Okay. So now that will mat onto there. So let's glue it down. Okay. So I'm going to bring in my page, my large piece, because I'm going to use this as a guide. That's where the pocket will go. So I'm using my big one this time. So again, I'd use my square one just as a positioner. I would then see where I want it, tape it down. Now I've already cut one there. So I'm going to use this square. It's locked into those two top slots. I can tape it if I want, just because I've only got two hands in front of the camera. We're just going to use this now to line it up here. Take that square one off. Like I said, if you'd made a deeper pocket, you could have used two of the squares there. There we are. So I've got two more bits of the rectangles I've cut just as before, just to put in to train my paper pieces and to know where to apply the glue. Okay, so these can move around to straighten them up. There we are. So page 6, oh, there's the way up. So now just avoiding those black tabs. I did a bit too close there. Let's just move it off. And this one, I think page number 5 was quite flat as well, so I'm okay this time. And on this one, again, I'll make it into a pocket. Got some tape on that from when I attached my paper. I'm only going to put it on 3 sides to make that pocket. So I thought it looked quite nice, but it needed a bit more colour, so I've taken a border from one of the other pages. And I'm going to glue that. Oh, there. Thank goodness that's dries clear. There we go. And then I'm just going to stick page 7 exactly the same. And I'll just line that up with those stamps. So that's our page is finished. That's all we've got to do now is decorate our cover.